The year was 2487. Humanity had long been in a cryogenic sleep, frozen in time, awaiting the day they would awaken to a new era. When the war began, Earth was plunged into a conflict so brutal, so endless, that humanity had chosen to flee rather than fight. Entire cities were abandoned, people left to their fates, and humanity's brightest minds engineered massive cryo sleep chambers to state the future. Thousands of years passed as the war raged on. The great powers that had once controlled Earth, nations and corporations, were all but forgotten. In their place, new rulers emerged, alien species that sought to conquer and reshape the universe. But when the cryo chambers finally opened, the world they woke to was a shadow of the past. No one expected the humans to come back, but the humans, once considered a relic of a forgotten time, had not been idle in their frozen slumber. Their time in cryo sleep had changed them, sharpened their resolve, and ignited a fire that none could extinguish. As the chambers opened and human soldiers stepped out, they felt the weight of an ancient injustice. These beings, aliens, once thought invincible, had never truly understood the power of humanity. They had underestimated humans' will to survive, their ability to adapt and fight for what was theirs. General Arya Cole, leader of the awakened humans, took the first step outside the cryo chamber. Her eyes adjusted to the dim light, the eerie silence of a war-ravaged Earth. The air was thick with the scent of ash, and the skies were clouded with the remnants of destruction. She scanned the horizon, her sharp instincts telling her that the war was not truly over. It was merely in a lull. "We've got one chance," she muttered, her voice a low whisper of determination. One chance to remind them of who we are. The first alien faction they encountered was the Zargovs, a race of cold-blooded warriors with no mercy in their hearts. When they saw the humans standing before them, they laughed. Their weapons were more advanced, their technology far superior, but they had no idea what they were facing. Arya's soldiers, despite their centuries of sleep, had trained their bodies for this moment. The cryo sleep had preserved not just their bodies, but their minds. They awoke with combat skills sharp as ever. It was like they had never left the battlefield. The Zargov leader, a hulking figure covered in armor that shimmered like molten metal, stepped forward, towering over the human soldiers. "You think you can defeat us?" he sneered. Arya took a step forward, her eyes cold with determination. "We don't think. We know." The humans were faster, more cunning, and more relentless than the Zargots had anticipated. It was a fight unlike any the aliens had ever seen. In mere hours, the Zargots were driven back, their forces decimated. The human strategies were unorthodox, utilizing the environment to their advantage in ways the aliens couldn't even begin to understand. For the first time in centuries, the Zargots realized that the humans were not a relic of the past. They were a force to be reckoned with, a people who would never bow, never yield. But the Zargots were not the only ones who had underestimated the humans. The Intergalactic Council, a coalition of alien races that had ruled the galaxy, watched from afar. They were smug in their belief that humanity was no longer relevant, that their time had passed. They had watched as Earth was decimated, and the human race was thought to be extinct. However, with the defeat of the Zargovs, the humans sent a clear message. We are still here. The Intergalactic Council was forced to confront a difficult truth. They had made a grave mistake. They had believed the humans were weak, fragmented, and incapable of reclaiming their place in the galaxy. They were wrong. When the humans reached the heart of the galaxy, their ships were primitive compared to the advanced fleets of the Council. Yet, their strategy was perfect. With every battle, the humans adapted, learned, and overpowered their enemies. The Intergalactic Council had never seen anything like it. They had no experience fighting a species like humans, resilient, resourceful, and unyielding. In less than a month, the humans had pushed through the Council's defenses, breaking through every blockade, taking down every ship that stood in their way. Their forces, though smaller in number, were like a tidal wave, unstoppable, relentless. The Council members, once full of pride and arrogance, now found themselves trembling in fear. They were losing, and the humans were not showing any mercy. General Arya Cole stood before the Council's leader, an alien with 4 eyes and a spiny exoskeleton. "You thought we were done," she said coldly, "but we were just waiting, And now, it's your turn to sleep forever. The final battle was swift. The humans tore through the Council's fleets, their weapons enhanced with centuries of innovation and strategic brilliance. The aliens who once ruled the galaxy now found themselves scattered and broken. The war that had raged for so long, the war that had almost wiped out humanity, was over. In hours, the once mighty intergalactic empire was no more. Humanity had won. They had returned from the depths of sleep to take back what was theirs. Their world, their freedom, and their place among the stars. As General Arya Cole looked out over the battlefield, her heart swelled with pride. The war was over, but the story of humanity had just begun.